Hello everyone, Jay the Silent Cartographer here with another daily map. I believe this is number 45. I apologize that yesterday's was uploaded with no audio. I'm on such a backward sleep schedule, I'm actually about to go to sleep. That I realized that since I have D&D on Sunday nights, if I fell asleep when I did, I wouldn't have time to do the daily map because my D&D group runs after midnight. And so while I was in a phone call with one of my buddies on Discord, I just decided, screw it, I'll do a daily map with no audio. But today we are back and better than ever. We're gonna go ahead, switch water texture to imagination. And we're gonna make it blue, because for some reason it's not blue by default. I think that looks blue. I'm gonna value that down a little bit. I don't think we need the stain here. Let's go ahead and let's just do another region map. You know, I've been doing a lot of region maps, not that many world maps recently, but I've also just really not had a whole bunch of motivation to do a whole world map. I am liking this shape though, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean some of this up. Yeah, I don't know. I've not been in the mood to make big old world maps after that 5-hour behemoth of a daily map. I'm kind of all mapped out, so we're gonna take things a little bit slower today. Fill that in, and then maybe even knock that out like that. Gonna have to sync that though. Crank the roughness down, carve on through there just like that, carve there, and just get rid of that. Make it look like it's an island. Perfect. That's very cool. I do really like this little alcove area that we've got to work with here, so let's go ahead and start working with it. First things first, I do want to go back to land, and I want to change the ground texture to something a little bit more smooth, I think would probably be the word for it. And I think that to that end, I think paper is probably going to be what we're going to go with today. We're going to go to our brush tool, and we're going to look for a nice default color. That is almost a little too brown. I'm thinking maybe the farmland green again. Although I do wish that there was something a little bit more, not sickeningly vibrant, but vibrant. That looks about what I'm imagining in my head. I'm gonna go back to the land tool, landmass outline. We're once again just gonna grab the color of this and then make it darker so that it kind of stays in the same color family and looks a bit more correct. Realizing that this little nubbin up here is actually a mistake, a bit of a blemish, and not a speck of dust on my monitor, which I really do have to get around to cleaning. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead, and the first thing we're gonna do is put down some mountains. I think that for this map, maybe not those mountains because the grass is a little too green, but certainly these mountains. I mean, the grass is still too green. You know, I kind of like the idea of using these mountains here, and then just shrinking the. So we're gonna do like a big S shape like that. With the mountains. No, actually, the S shape doesn't really look right. Like, I'm trying to think of like what shape of mountains would look correct. Maybe something like that. Yeah. Then down like that. Maybe some down the coast over here. Maybe some more over here. And then maybe we'll outline the area of this continent just like that with some mountains. Going over to hills next. Gonna bump up the placement rate and density so that it really fills in all the areas that I want it to. We're gonna go back and we're gonna paint in all the little mini mountains going all the way around just like that. And I apologize if today's daily map is going by real quick. I started school again yesterday. I had like a 2 week break from my animation courses. That break is now over, and so I have class tonight at 10 p.m. and I haven't slept yet. And so if I go to sleep right now, I'll wake up at 9 if I get 8 hours of sleep. Um, and so I would very much like to do that so I can grab some dinner, hopefully before class starts. And so I am looking to get this map done. I should have done this earlier, but I got lost in I got lost in some Final Fantasy 14. Which, and then I still really need to work on my book outline. I've been neglecting that outline, unfortunately neglecting that outline, you know, because it's again, the idea for the story is really good. It just, I haven't had the time to sit down and write it, and I mean that's no one's fault but mine. I had a 3 week vacation. I didn't do anything with it, and so I'm thinking I need to be more scheduled. So I think I'm gonna buy a planner, and in that planner I'm gonna try to do like a hard schedule where I put down times where I have to write during this time. I have to do daily map during this time. I have to do like my animation work during that time, so that maybe I can start building some ethic and some structure into my day-to-day routine. How about we do something like this today? How about we just draw some wonky little tree shapes like that? Something like that, something like that, something like that. That maybe. Yeah, it looks kind of goofy, but it looks kind of goofy in like a stylized enough way to where I'm okay with it. But yeah, no, I mean, I think I need to schedule my life a little bit more as I begin to get busy again, with D&D prep and trying to write this book. I need to get back to writing that published adventure, the Bandits in the Mines of Aramor, which I mean, I guess yesterday, but it was today for me because I woke up at right before D&D. The players finally made it to the big reveal that the Lord's daughter had hired the bandits, and they in a single harebrained moment took a fireball, and it hit all seven of them. And in my life, I've seen very few times where a fireball had more value than the one I got against my own party. It was absolutely delightful to watch them scream in panic as they all got lit up by a fireball. But I mean, one of our players just made a snap decision. The bandit leader and the Lord's daughter were doing the hostage act, the fake hostage act, to try and convince the players, like, hey, give up or I'll hurt the princess. Obviously, they're both on the same side, so it's all fake. But one of the players said, hey, like, we already got it out of your subordinates that we know that you're on their side. And so at that point, there was like, there's no pretense like to keep the act up. And so she did the most damage that she could in that moment. And it wasn't a surprise around. She rolled a crazy high initiative, and she threw a fireball because she's a spellcaster. She's a like 6th or 7th level spellcaster, designed to kind of be not like, again, she's beatable, but tactically beatable. They had to trick her, or she was going to get away and potentially be part of a bigger plot later. Which now the bandit leader and the woman have escaped, so I don't. That's something that I didn't expect to happen. That I didn't write in my prep, was that I didn't expect that the party would fail essentially. And so failure is actually a state that your game can be in D&D. And that's odd compared to a lot of other games. When you fail in a game, you just go back to the last checkpoint, or it's game over. But for this particular mission, for these particular characters, they failed to kill or capture the bandit captain, and they failed to rescue the Lord's daughter. All they did was get them to be chased off. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Lord's daughter go back to town and say that the players that the players came and attacked her, and tried to kidnap her. And so maybe it'll be like the players versus the town, because like I don't know how they would get out of that. I don't know how they would convince the town or the mayor that his daughter was evil, because I mean they got like witness testimony. They decided to do a non-lethal takedown on one of the enemies, and they didn't kill them. They interrogated them instead. They were able to interrogate out of them the information that they needed. But and it's a pretty big but. They have no proof that the Lord's daughter is evil. Um, they simply have their own accounts, and who's the Lord going to believe? Is he going to believe his own family, who he hired these adventurers to go and grab and deal with, or is he going to believe um, the adventurers who showed up out of nowhere? And I am inclined to think that he would probably, he would more than likely choose to side with his daughter. And so that's going to be an interesting little RP moment between the characters, is like, hey, she's gonna just go back to town and lie. And so how are you gonna deal with that? How are you gonna deal with the fallout of the town thinking that you killed the, or that you attacked the Lord's daughter? And I mean, the big thing is that the Lord was supposed to give them the next quest that they're supposed to go on, and so I don't know how they're getting there anymore. So that's something I'm gonna have to prep for, and I'm gonna have to figure out. And I think after next session, I'm gonna have a lot of prep work to do, to try and get things on track. Really depending on like what they decide to do. But I mean, worst comes to worst, they'll find their way to a different area and they'll pick up the plot thread there. But that being said, it looks like, to me at least, that this is daily map done. Daily map, I believe, again, number 45. Yeah, this is day 45, so let's export day 45. Then really quickly, I am going to go select tool. I'm going to select symbols only, and I'm going to go ahead and delete all the symbols. Why would I delete all the symbols, you might ask? Because I think that having the option to place your own is just as valuable as me placing them for you. Day 45, no symbol. And we're going to give a save. Day 45. And if you would like to download this exact map for use in your own personal RPG adventures, personal, not professional, in the link in the description there will be a little box to go to Imgur, where you can download this exact map in both of the varieties, with the symbols and without the symbols, for absolutely free. Down in the description as well will be a catalog of all of the maps of August, which are 50 maps that I made throughout the daily map process in August and early September. All of those, just like this one, are completely free to use. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 46 of daily map. It's hard to believe we're coming up on 50 maps. It's very, very cool. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.